Autism and narcissism, two terms that are often misunderstood and sometimes even confused. While these conditions are distinct, they do share some similarities that can blur the lines for those unfamiliar with them. In this video, we'll explore both the similarities and the differences between autism and narcissism. Let's start with the similarities. Both autism and narcissism involve social difficulties, though the reasons behind these difficulties differ. Individuals with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, often find social interactions challenging. They might struggle with reading social cues, making eye contact, or engaging in typical social behaviors. Similarly, people with narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, also face social difficulties. They might dominate conversations, lack genuine empathy, or have trouble forming deep, meaningful relationships. Another similarity is the challenge with empathy. Those with autism might have difficulty understanding or expressing emotions, which can make them seem less empathetic. However, this is usually due to differences in how they process emotions, not a lack of empathy. On the other hand, narcissists often display a lack of empathy because their focus is primarily on their own needs and desires. This self-centeredness makes it difficult for them to genuinely connect with others' emotions. Both autism and narcissism can also involve rigid patterns of thinking. Individuals with autism often adhere strictly to routines, specific interests, or behaviors. They may struggle with change and find comfort in predictability. Narcissists, while also displaying rigid thinking, do so for different reasons. They may be inflexible in their views, particularly when it comes to their self-image or beliefs about their superiority. Any challenge to these beliefs can be met with strong resistance. Now let's look at the key differences between autism and narcissism. The core motivation behind their behaviors is different. Autism is a neurological condition that affects communication, social interaction, and sensory processing. The behaviors seen in autism are not driven by a desire to manipulate or control others. They are often responses to an internal need for routine or sensory regulation. In contrast, narcissistic behaviors are often driven by a need for admiration, validation, and control. Narcissists may manipulate others to maintain their self-esteem and superiority, and their actions are typically calculated to achieve their desired outcomes. Relationships also differ significantly between the two. People with autism may struggle with social skills, but they often desire connection and can be deeply loyal and honest in their relationships. Narcissists, however, tend to use relationships for personal gain. They may view others as extensions of themselves rather than as equals, leading to relationships that are often superficial and one-sided. Another major difference is in how they respond to criticism. Individuals with autism might take criticism based on their understanding of social norms or sensitivity to direct communication, but they generally don't react with hostility unless they feel overwhelmed. Narcissists, on the other hand, are highly sensitive to criticism. They may respond with anger, denial, or even retaliatory behavior, seeing any criticism as a direct threat to their self-image. While autism and narcissism can share some overlapping traits, understanding the core differences is crucial. Autism is a neurological condition that affects how a person experiences and interacts with the world, whereas narcissism is a personality disorder characterized by an inflated sense of self and a need for admiration. Recognizing these distinctions helps us better understand and support those who live with these conditions. For more insights into narcissism and other related topics, visit A2's online store, US. There, you can access 150 ebooks about narcissism for just $49.99. Empower yourself with the knowledge you need to navigate these complex relationships.